The big revelation was that
Meghan Markle was a semi-expensive yacht girl.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
she and Harry actually got married 3 days before the royal wedding.
Yeah, I loved it.
Great, now I feel like a fool for waking up at 5 a.m. to watch two married people get married.
The crowd roared, then suddenly gasped. Jimmy Fallon had actually said that on live TV. No script, no warning, just pure, unfiltered chaos.
What is the number one question that mystifies scientists?
Is there life on another planet?
Oh no, why does Meghan Markle make her own pretzel bags?
That's interesting. She takes it from one bag and puts it in another bag.
There's another bag.
And that confuses people.
One moment he's setting up a joke about Meghan Markle's lifestyle tips, and the next he's brutally dismantling her entire brand, pretzels, privilege, and all.
Best way to have a snack is to take the snack out of one bag and then move them into another bag.
This, we're just gonna put into a different bag.
And then label this new bag, even though this bag already has a label on it.
How do you feel about it?
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
The clip went nuclear within hours. But it wasn't just funny, it was surgical. Fallon didn't roast Meghan, he dismantled the myth of Meghan, piece by pretentious piece.
My name is Megan Sussex now.
You keep saying Meghan Markle, you know I'm Sussex now.
Call me Meghan Markle one more time, Mindy f***ing Kaling.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
He mimicked her calmly explaining how to repackage store-bought pretzels into different bags for aesthetic appeal, and the audience couldn't tell if it was satire or a cry for help. Even Fallon had to pause mid-laugh and ask, "Wait, why are we doing this?" The crowd lost it. That tiny moment, one confused comedian and one absurd pretzel trick, became a symbol of everything people find baffling about Meghan's Hollywood royal hybrid persona: overly curated, painfully performative, and oddly detached from reality.
Trick that people do with pineapple, instead of just cutting it to make the perfect little bite, you follow the wedge. When nature has given you all the cues on how to have a perfect taste of something.
Oh, how fun is that? I love it.
I like working hard.
And I thought,
Social media exploded. Finally, someone said it, one fan wrote. Others called it Fallon's most savage roast ever. But beneath the laughter was something sharper, like Fallon had voiced the collective eye roll of an entire generation tired of Meghan's never-ending brand reinventions. And as the internet replayed that clip again and again, one question echoed louder: was Fallon joking, or was he exposing a truth no one else dared to say out loud?
Meghan and Harry, I've listened to both of them talk. Garden variety retards. Both of them.
I said H was after H has been, H is, and H called me with H, and H was out, and with H.
And I thought,
It started innocently enough, a glossy Netflix clip meant to showcase Meghan Markle's relatable domestic charm. She stood in her pristine, candlelit kitchen, smiling at the camera as she carefully poured store-bought pretzels from one plastic bag into another. No cooking, no seasoning, just rebagging, for reasons no one could quite explain.
Hi, oh my God, it's been so long, Miss Meghan Markle.
no, but listen, you know what I mean?
And then came Jimmy Fallon on The Tonight Show. Fallon queued up that very clip with a mischievous grin, the kind that told everyone in the audience something chaotic was about to happen. "So wait," he said, holding up a pretzel bag. "She's repackaging the pretzels for what? Their emotional well-being?" The crowd erupted. Fallon's timing was flawless. His mock confusion, the raised eyebrow, the tiny pause before the punchline, every second felt unscripted, raw, and hilarious.
Biggest absurdity of this whole thing was just how over-the-top perfect everything has to be around her. Her outfit, I mean, who the hell picks fucking berries in a white cashmere blouse and white pants? Literally no one on earth does that.
But it wasn't just comedy, it was commentary. Because Fallon wasn't mocking the pretzels, he was mocking the performance. The idea that authenticity could be staged, filtered, and monetized. His roast hit harder because it peeled back the glossy layer Meghan has so carefully built. The more he joked, the more the laughter carried a sting of truth. People online couldn't get enough. The clip spread like wildfire, racking up millions of views overnight. Suddenly, that one silly cooking segment became a symbol of everything people love to hate about modern celebrity culture: pretension dressed as purpose, luxury pretending to be humble.
He's a whining, whinging, complaining, woe is me, I'm the only one that's ever had mental problems.
Fallon didn't just make a joke, he cracked open a cultural moment, and the audience could feel it too. This wasn't just laughter anymore, it was recognition. But what Fallon slipped in right after that punchline would turn the whole thing from funny to brutal. The brilliance of Fallon's roast wasn't just in the joke, it was in how perfectly it captured what many already felt about Meghan Markle's public persona. That pretzel bit wasn't a blunder, it was a metaphor that practically wrote itself. The internet quickly crowned it the most Meghan thing ever, overly polished, strangely unnecessary, and trying too hard to look effortless. Fallon had just turned that quiet cringe into viral gold. What made the moment explode was the irony.
I don't know what it is, but your jams just make me feel so happy.
Yeah, I loved it.
I'm opening this cylinder now. If you're watching, what a ta-da!
Meghan had spent years cultivating an image of authenticity, earthy colors, candles, slow-motion shots of pouring tea, and yet here she was, rebranding store-bought snacks as a lifestyle prophet. Fallon's humor landed because it wasn't cruel, it was observant. He highlighted the absurdity we all saw but never said out loud. His smirk seemed to say, "You can't make this up." The audience howled, not just at Meghan's antics, but at the broader ridiculousness of influencer culture. The segment sparked endless memes: Meghan as the Duchess of Pretzels, royal family reactions photoshopped in disbelief, TikToks reenacting the scene set to grocery store drama music. And beneath the laughter was something deeper. People weren't mocking Meghan because of pretzels, they were mocking the disconnect between her carefully curated image and reality.
Here comes the first time in her life that Meghan Markle actually touches food.
What?
Let's watch that back. Why is she pushing apples into the salad? Oh dear, even her hands can't do acting.
Fallon's moment went beyond comedy. It was a mirror, a glimpse of how public patience with Meghan's curated perfection had finally cracked. She wasn't being roasted for what she did, but for what she represented, a brand so obsessed with control that it forgot to be human. And when Fallon leaned back in his chair, pretending to sip imaginary royal tea, the message was clear. The audience wasn't laughing at Meghan, they were laughing off her mystique. But Fallon wasn't done yet. His next jab went straight for the crown itself. While most viewers were busy laughing at Fallon's roast, sharp-eyed fans noticed something deeper, a subtle, surgical message buried beneath the humor. Fallon wasn't just mocking Meghan's pretzel demonstration, he was exposing how her carefully polished image had begun to crumble under its own weight.
If I'm going to succeed in America, I need a lifestyle brand of creams and supplements. Gwyneth Paltrow has Goop.
Wow.
Kourtney Kardashian has Poosh.
Woof.
And Jamie Lee Curtis has Poogert.
Oh my God.
Now I've got mine, Meg Goo. Celebrating the sexy earth goddess in all of us.
Each punchline, delivered with that signature grin, carried a trace of disbelief, as if even Fallon couldn't believe how disconnected her down-to-earth act had become. The audience sensed it too. The laughter wasn't just about snacks, it was relief that someone finally dared to poke fun at the untouchable Duchess who once lectured the world on compassion while selling lifestyle perfection.
As a female founder, you have to train your mind.
That's not possible.
To literally be so focused on what your goal is. As I said in the podcast I was doing, laser focused on what your intention is. There isn't room for a tremendous amount of self-doubt with that.
And I thought,
Fallon's tone wasn't mean-spirited, it was almost weary, as if he embodied every viewer exhausted by the endless self-branding, documentaries, interviews, and the ever-expanding empire of authenticity. Beneath his playful delivery was something razor-sharp, social commentary. He was highlighting the modern absurdity of fame, where being relatable has become a full-time performance. And Meghan, whether she realized it or not, had turned herself into the punchline of that performance.
biggest addiction in America is attention. We are addicted to attention. Easiest way to get attention is to be a victim.
Fallon's genius was that he never said it outright. He let silence and smirks do the talking. Twitter lit up with fans decoding the segment like detectives. He's not roasting her, one post read. He's diagnosing her. Fallon had managed to turn a late-night comedy sketch into a cultural autopsy, where every laugh revealed another crack in the royal facade. And just when viewers thought he'd reached his limit, Fallon leaned in, lowered his voice, and delivered a line that changed the room's mood completely. No laughter, just stunned silence. Once Fallon's pretzel punchline lit up the internet, the rest of Hollywood smelled blood, and the late-night circuit quickly turned Meghan Markle into open season.
I watched the Harry and Meghan Netflix documentary. Now, I'll be honest with you, before I watched it, I was not a fan of theirs. But now I've actually heard their side of the story, I fucking hate them.
Ryan Reynolds was the first to jump in, tweeting a fake recipe for her signature snack. Step 1, buy pretzels. Step 2, pretend you made them. Step 3, sell them for $40. The post racked up thousands of likes within minutes.
Yeah, but my dad got out of copping and then became a food broker, which we're like, come on, that's
What?
CIA, right?
Yes.
And
food
he's like, no,
brokers.
I really am a middleman for jars of jam.
He works for Meghan Markle.
Then Conan O'Brien followed, pretending to pitch a new Netflix show called The Duchess of DIY, because apparently, opening a bag is hard.
Really tiny jams, harvestable jam made from the oils of Montecito.
Yeah, she looked at Harry and she was like, "Nigga, you need to get a job. You a grown-ass man. You can't still be living in your mama's house, Harry."
Even Trevor Noah couldn't resist, joking that Meghan had finally found a way to make carbs royal. What started as one harmless roast quickly snowballed into a comedy avalanche. Late-night hosts, podcasters, and YouTubers all weighed in, each adding a new layer of satire. Fallon might have sparked it, but the collective mockery gave it momentum. Suddenly, Meghan's entire lifestyle brand became a running gag. Social media filled with memes comparing her homemade pretzels to luxury car commercials. It was savage, but also oddly unifying. Everyone, from right-wing tabloids to left-leaning comedians, found themselves laughing at the same absurdity. But the most striking part? The laughter wasn't aimed purely at Meghan, it was aimed at the idea of celebrity perfection. Her image, once crafted as graceful, woke, and aspirational, was unraveling in real time, and comedians were simply narrating the downfall. Fallon had cracked the first joke. The rest of the industry finished the story, and for Meghan, the timing couldn't have been worse.
And this is sweet. Meghan Markle said she has a finger they can use if they need it.
Every laugh echoed like a reminder that her control over the narrative had finally slipped away, especially when Jimmy Fallon's monologue shifted from Meghan to Prince Harry. The room's laughter took on a different tone, half amusement, half disbelief. Fallon leaned back, grinning, and said, "Imagine fighting in Afghanistan just to end up filming your wife's jam commercials." The audience howled, but the line carried a sting. It wasn't just a joke about a soldier-turned-celebrity, it was a mirror reflecting how far Harry's public image had fallen. Once celebrated as the rebellious royal with grit and charm, Harry had become a background character in Meghan's Hollywood fairy tale. Fallon's mock sympathy, blink twice if you're being held hostage at the farmer's market, mate, hit harder than expected. The laughter grew uneasy. It wasn't just about Meghan's antics anymore, it was about a prince who had traded duty for documentaries and dignity for hashtags. "Babe, time to do our daily $250,000 sponsored Instagram post." Social media ran with it instantly. Memes showed Harry holding jars of jam labeled royal tears, while others compared his military medals to influencer sponsorships. Beneath the humor was genuine pity, a sense that Fallon had voiced what many were thinking but no one dared to say aloud. Harry looked lost. The shift from noble soldier to comedic prop symbolized a deeper downfall. His credibility, once his greatest asset, had turned into punchline material. Fallon's quips transformed Harry from a symbol of rebellion into one of resignation, a man trying to reclaim relevance through awkward smiles on camera. But Fallon's jab also struck a nerve with the audience because it wasn't just about Harry's career. It was about what happens when fame consumes identity and love becomes a brand. And just when the laughter started to fade, Fallon hinted at something even more uncomfortable beneath the humor, something that made the entire studio fall silent. By the time Fallon's segment finished trending, it was clear that something much bigger was happening.
I think they're totally lost. You know, one minute they're making a cartoon, then they're doing a documentary on them, now they're saving the world. They just haven't found their path in life yet.
The public had finally reached its limit. What began as curiosity about Meghan and Harry's freedom journey had morphed into collective exhaustion. Fallon's roast wasn't just a comedy bit, it was the breaking point of a long, slow burnout. People were tired. Tired of interviews framed as confessions, documentaries that felt like therapy sessions, and brand launches wrapped in faux humility. Fallon's joke landed because it captured that fatigue in a single punchline. The couple's constant need to set the record straight had backfired. Every explanation only deepened the skepticism. Social media timelines filled with comments like, "We get it. You left the palace. What's next?" Fallon didn't need to mock that directly, the laughter from his audience said it all. Even fans who once defended Meghan's struggles began admitting that something about her image felt overproduced. Her speeches about privacy now clashed with the endless content churn, from Netflix to podcasts to luxury product lines. The line between activism and advertisement had blurred.
She just thinks we're all monsters and we're all just kind of pigs in the mud, and that she's helping us with jam and honey.
Fallon's roast symbolized the public's shifting mood, the transition from fascination to fatigue. Meghan and Harry weren't seen as victims anymore, they were seen as influencers who had overplayed their narrative. Fallon, with one smirk and a few pretzel jokes, had punctured the glossy bubble surrounding them. The message was clear, people weren't angry, they were simply done. The royal story had become another celebrity reality show, and the audience had finally changed the channel. Fallon's roast didn't just embarrass Meghan, it sparked an uncomfortable conversation within Hollywood itself. The laughter echoing through his studio wasn't only about a duchess gone off-brand, it was about an industry addicted to self-importance. Fallon's bit became a mirror, forcing celebrities to confront how disconnected they'd become from the audiences that once adored them. Behind every punchline about Meghan's curated lifestyle was a subtle indictment of the culture that created her. Talk show hosts started addressing it directly. Some joked that Meghan was just playing the Hollywood game, but without a script. Others admitted that her over-polished persona felt uncomfortably familiar. She wasn't unique. She was a symptom.
They're ridiculous. They want it both ways. You know, you can't be, these people were so mean to us and poor us, and we don't want all this attention, and then let me write a book about how much we don't want attention.
In a world where fame thrives on relatability, Meghan's attempt to be both royal and real exposed the hypocrisy of celebrity authenticity itself. Fallon, whether intentionally or not, had cracked open that illusion. He reminded viewers that late-night comedy used to mock the powerful, not worship them. And now, through his jabs at Meghan, he had reclaimed that edge. Fans loved it. They said Fallon felt alive again, bringing back the fearless tone that made comedy raw and unpredictable. Meanwhile, Hollywood insiders squirmed. The same machine that once elevated Meghan was now laughing at her downfall, feigning innocence. Fallon's roast became a quiet rebellion, a comedian reminding his peers that satire isn't cruelty when it tells the truth. As the clip continued to dominate headlines, the message spread far beyond one royal couple. The laughter wasn't about a duchess anymore, it was about every celebrity selling perfection in a world starving for something real.
I said Meghan Markle is of course a lifelong feminist, which she's demonstrated by marrying a prince and giving up her job.
When the dust settled and the laughter died down, Meghan Markle did something no one expected. She said nothing. No statement, no social media post, no carefully worded defense, just silence. And that silence spoke louder than any interview could have. For weeks, tabloids waited for her rebuttal, but none came. Instead, her team quietly pulled back from public appearances, as if retreating to regroup. Then, out of nowhere, Meghan reappeared, not with an apology or a rebuttal, but with a glossy new photoshoot promoting her upcoming wellness brand. The message was clear, she wasn't backing down. She was doubling down. To her critics, it felt tone-deaf. To her fans, it was defiance. Fallon's roast might have made her the butt of Hollywood's biggest joke, but Meghan turned that energy into marketing fuel. Every meme, every sarcastic headline kept her name alive. And in the brutal world of celebrity branding, attention is currency.
Harry and Meghan say they'd now like to split their time between spending your money in the UK and spending your money in Canada.
Fallon had landed the punch, but Meghan reminded everyone she knew how to take one. Her silence wasn't surrender, it was strategy. And just like that, a single late-night joke became a cultural lightning bolt. Fallon's roast wasn't just entertainment, it was a turning point. It peeled away the last layer of royal glamour and exposed the uncomfortable truth behind the Markle machine, but if you thought this was the peak of royal drama, you're not even close. While Fallon was laughing on stage, something far more explosive was happening off-camera. Sarah Ferguson, yes, the Duchess herself, was spilling secrets that made Meghan's pretzel saga look like child's play, private yacht parties, hidden alliances, and royal whispers that shook even Prince Harry. Once you hear what Sarah revealed about Meghan's past with Prince Andrew, you'll understand why Harry has been in absolute shock. Before you close this tab, make sure to watch our previous video uncovering how Harry reacted as Sarah Ferguson exposed Meghan's yacht days with Andrew. It connects every piece of this story and reveals what Fallon didn't dare say out loud.